The late summer sun hung low over Willow Creek, a sleepy town in Northern California where dust clung to everything and dreams seemed to wither under the weight of routine. Daniel Hargrove, tech millionaire and Silicon Valley dropout, roared into town in his cherry-red Mustang convertible, the engine's growl cutting through the hum of cicadas. At 42, Daniel had it all: a fortune from selling his startup, a penthouse in San Francisco, and a reputation as a man who could buy his way out of any problem. But beneath the tailored suits and mirrored sunglasses, he was restless, chasing a thrill he couldn't name. He pulled into the gas station on the edge of town, the only one for miles, its faded sign creaking in the breeze. As he filled the tank, a girl, no older than 10, approached, her sneakers scuffed and her braid unraveling. Her eyes, wide and hazel, locked onto him with an intensity that made him pause. "Mister, don't get in your Mustang," she said, her voice steady but urgent. Daniel smirked, glancing at her over his sunglasses. "Kid, this car's worth more than your house. I'm not leaving it here." Her name was Ellie, though he wouldn't learn that until later. She stepped closer, undeterred. "I'm serious. Something bad's gonna happen if you drive it." He laughed, tossing a 20 into the gas station's tip jar. "What, you a psychic or something? Go play, kid." Ellie didn't budge. "I saw it. In my head. You crash. It's bad." Daniel shook his head, already turning back to the car. He'd heard it all before: scams, sob stories, people wanting a piece of his wealth. But something about her voice, small yet certain, lodged in his mind like a splinter. He slid into the driver's seat, the leather warm against his back, and revved the engine. Ellie's face lingered in his rearview mirror as he peeled out, her expression not angry but sad, like she'd already seen the ending. The road stretched ahead, a ribbon of asphalt flanked by golden fields. Daniel cranked the radio, letting classic rock drown out the girl's warning. He was headed to a vineyard deal an hour away, a chance to invest in something tangible after years of coding in sterile offices. The Mustang hugged the curves, its power a reminder of his control, his success. But as he rounded a bend, the steering wheel jerked under his hands. A sharp pop echoed, and the car swerved violently. The world spun, sky, road, sky again, before metal crunched against earth. When Daniel came to, the Mustang was a twisted wreck in a ditch, its front end smashed against a tree. Pain throbbed in his chest, his ribs screaming with every breath. Blood trickled down his forehead, warm and sticky. He fumbled for his phone, but the screen was cracked, useless. The road was deserted, the sun dipping below the horizon. Panic clawed at him. He was alone. Or so he thought. Footsteps crunched on gravel. Ellie appeared, her small frame silhouetted against the fading light. She carried a battered red wagon with a first aid kit and a bottle of water. Without a word, she knelt beside him, pressing a clean cloth to his forehead. How'd you know?" Daniel rasped, wincing as she worked. Ellie shrugged, her hands steady. "I just do sometimes. See things before they happen." He stared at her, the weight of her words sinking in. "Why'd you come?" "I didn't listen." She met his gaze, her eyes older than her years. "Because you're a person. People help people." Over the next hour, Ellie stayed with him, keeping him conscious with stories of Willow Creek, her mom's diner, her dog named Rocket, the way the stars looked from her roof. She dragged her wagon 2 miles after seeing his crash in her mind, a vision she couldn't shake. When the paramedics finally arrived, guided by a 911 call Ellie had made from a neighbor's phone, Daniel was stable, his injuries serious but not fatal. A blown tire, the mechanic later said, caused by a nail on the road. A freak accident. In the hospital, Daniel couldn't stop thinking about Ellie. Her selflessness gnawed at him, a stark contrast to his world of deals and detachment. He'd spent years building walls, convinced money was the only currency that mattered. Yet this girl, with nothing to gain, had saved him. He tracked her down through the diner, learning her full name, Ellie Harper, daughter of a single mom struggling to keep the business afloat. When he was discharged, Daniel returned to Willow Creek, not in the Mustang, it was totaled, but in a rental car. He found Ellie at the diner, helping her mom clear tables. The place was worn but warm, filled with locals who greeted each other like family. Daniel offered to pay off their debts, to fund a renovation. Ellie's mom, Sarah, hesitated, pride in her eyes. "We don't take handouts," Sarah said, wiping her hands on her apron. "It's not a handout," Daniel replied. "It's a thank you." Ellie tugged at her mom's sleeve. "He means it, Mama. He's okay." Sarah relented, and over the next months, Daniel became a fixture in Willow Creek. He didn't just fund the diner's revival. He rolled up his sleeves, learning to pour coffee and laugh with regulars. He learned Ellie's visions weren't always clear, but they'd saved others before, a neighbor from a fire, a friend from a fall. She didn't ask for praise, only acted when she could. One night, under a sky blazing with stars, Daniel sat with Ellie on her roof. "Why do you help people, even when they don't listen?" he asked. She shrugged, kicking her sneakers against the shingles. "Because it's right. And because I'd want someone to help me." Her words hit him like a wave, washing away years of cynicism. Daniel realized he'd been chasing the wrong things: thrills, status, control. What mattered was connection, the quiet courage of a girl who saw the world's pain and chose to act. He stayed in Willow Creek, not as a millionaire but as a neighbor. The diner thrived, a beacon of community. And though Ellie's visions remained a mystery, they became a reminder: kindness, small and selfless, could change everything. Daniel never forgot the girl who warned him, nor the lesson she taught him, that humanity's power lies not in wealth, but in the choice to care. Years later, when Daniel drove a new car, a modest sedan, not a Mustang, he smiled at the memory of Ellie's voice. He'd been saved, not just from a crash, but from a life half lived. And in Willow Creek, where stars still shone bright, he found a home worth more than millions.